Hey everybody, we're only 1 minute late. Our chat likes to give us
my fault. All my fault.
It's only 1 minute. I like the hat. My chat likes to give us crap for always not starting on time. We used to start at 8:30, and because Nick would always show up late, we'd end up pushing it back, and then our chat would just talk, and just while they're waiting for us to start and watching the time get pushed back and pushed back and pushed back. So we're good today. But thank you everybody for being here.
You got to show off your t-shirt, man. I went to that park like 4 days trying to get one.
You know when I got it?
Sold out every time. Well, at least in my size.
What size?
2X.
That's what this is. That's all they had. I was trying to get an XL.
Oh my God.
They're like, we're sold out. All we have is 2X. I went, all right, maybe it'll shrink.
So I have an XL.
Gosh. I didn't get one. So
I got this one a week after the ride closed. You know the little store right off to the side?
The store. Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, we know.
The day of.
Yep. I tried to go the day of, but my wife and I, we were just so busy, and we weren't able to get there. So, but I'm sorry, that's not the way we normally start. Hey everybody, Logan here, and sorry that's Nick's not here today. Sorry guys, I know everybody looks forward to us, but hey, look who else we who we do have today. We have Jay and Tom here, the Rogue Attraction, both from Geeks and Gamers.
Yo.
So, howdy. Yes, and Jay was a little afraid about me putting the Geeks and Gamers logo.
Well, it's like, for whatever reason, some people get a little.
No, not at all. And yeah.
How dare you?
Like I said, I have a number of people who follow the channel also follow you guys and know who you guys are.
Oh,
so
cool.
Yeah, especially Jay. He's like, dude, you're like ridiculously popular.
I don't know why, but I appreciate it.
You seriously, you don't know why?
No. My YouTube channel's technically small compared to like Gary and Nerdrotic and Gary and Jeremy and Ryan and all that stuff. So
Jeremy's ridiculous. I'm in his chat almost every night when I'm doing videos and editing, and I'm seeing his chat just blow up, and I'm like, crazy, his super chats. I'm like, he's like number 1, number 2 every night in super chats. It's ridiculous. Yeah. So
pretty crazy.
But unfortunately, you go live when I can't really watch too much. And then same thing with Tom down there. And I'm like, oh, he's at the... Oh, okay. So I wish I could watch you guys live more.
I try to vary it.
Yeah, but then I happen to see it and I'm like, crap. So I jump in when I can to both you guys. But like I said, I do know a lot of my followers love to talk about you guys. We have, at the end of our... podcast, we do this thing called the side quest, and that's when we talk about random stuff, and Geeks and Gamers comes up almost every week. So if it's not Jay, it's Jeremy that usually comes up. But can't really say the guys talk too much about Ryan, so
well, that's good. That's probably a good thing.
And Zort, I'm gonna tell you something about that. First time I ever saw Tom down here, he was walking through Universal, and I go to my wife and I'm like, wait, I know that guy from somewhere. Where do I know? And I'm just walking and I'm like, oh my God, that's the guy on YouTube. And she's like, you're also the guy on YouTube. I'm like, she's like, why don't you go say something? I'm like, I've only seen like 2 of his streams before. So, and that's when you first started getting.
People that don't know who I am at all come up and ask me for photos, so that's fine.
Really?
Well, him. They want pictures.
Oh. Well,
or it's more popular than me.
Usually Tom's got like a bunch of stuff, food in his mouth or gum, so it's a little intimidating. People walk up to him.
You know, it's funny because every time
I've stopped chewing gum.
I know, I was caught chewing gum on stream too. I was like, I even made a joke. I was like, I told Tom not to chew gum, and look at my dumb behind on there like chewing gum. for the big poo tripping stream. I was like, oh man.
Wasn't that on an episode of was it Thursday night or Friday night?
I don't know. They just keep bringing.
I just remember being in one and they were just giving you shit about that.
Yeah. I didn't trip anybody, but that's not what the internet. The internet can turn on you in a heartbeat.
So apparently there's a whole lot he can say about Ryan. I'm sorry. Hey everybody, there's a lot of people showing up in here.
What's up, Dawn? Christopher,
hey, Dawn.
Good people.
So I take it these are your peoples?
They're everybody's people. Christopher's everywhere. Dawn is a great supporter. They're good people.
So far I've only got Dave. I usually got a couple of other guys that'll come in, and they like you guys quite a bit. So
that's cool.
Let's start with the introductions. Jay, you really don't need one because you're world famous.
Oh yeah, I'm Jay. Hi.
Best-selling novelist.
Thanks for inviting me.
My
second time here, right?
Yes,
my second or third time here. Okay.
Second. Yeah, now we've changed the format a little, and there were supposed to be 4 of us, but
Nick. Well, you need to fire that guy immediately and never have him.
Wow. Hey, Nick. Nick might be watching this.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah, Nick. Actually, the only reason why I came on this show was to hang out with you, and you didn't show up.
Oh, wow. So, you never even got to meet him. He wasn't here last time. He's been on every episode except for the one that...
Highly disappointed in
Maybe he's too much of a fan of Jay, and he got nervous, and he's like, I can't come on. I can't talk.
Yeah, he probably got diarrhea.
He's actually working in a meat packing plant tonight.
Oh. Yeah, I've heard that excuse before. The old meat packing plant excuse.
I can't wait to hear him comment about this later tonight. Once it goes off and he starts watching, and he's like, "You didn't."
Funny.
I'm just gonna leave that be and just let it go.
That's actually the same thing I did. He sent me a video, and I'm like, "Oh, look at all the salami." He literally there's salami everywhere.
Oh, wow. Guess he knows how to handle his meat.
Well, I knew
he's helping out a friend.
Yep.
He's been working at his friend's meatpacking plant for the last 3 nights.
Wow.
I'll let you guys go with it.
I'm not. I don't know.
Introduce yourself there, Rogue Attraction. How you doing?
Good. How are you? I do theme park stuff worse than the guy above me. That's pretty much what I do. I will say that I've gone to theme parks my entire life. I've gone to Disney more times than I've probably been to school. So should say something about me. Yeah, I think so. My parents didn't mind taking me out of school. And yeah, it's fun. And then I ran into this lovable.
Yeah.
Just
he stalked me for a month. And he was kind of cool, so I just let him hang out.
So that's the story.
Look where he's gone. He's grown. Found. The little guy's grown up. It's pretty awesome to see.
So yeah, tell me the story about how you two guys met. Was it Jay? Was it you that brought Rogan to Geeks and Gamers, or Tom into Geeks and Gamers? Is that how it happened?
I think I was live streaming from Galaxy's Edge, and Tom just kind of said hi, and he just never left my side. Then we went out to lunch, I think, and yeah, he was cool. Like I enjoy hanging out with him, and we just were like, I think we communicated via Twitter for a little while. Like, hey, if you're gonna be there, you want to hang out again? So, and then I know I was getting Krista, who really is doing a lot of work for the Park Hopping channel now, was still living in Canada, and I really I could use some help, with certain things. And so I asked Jeremy, I was like, I need to get a little help for the Park Hopping channel, because he started to move me in different areas. So I didn't have as much time as I did when I first started that channel. And so, yeah, he said, you have any recommendations? And I was like, yeah, I know this guy, but he's got a lizard on his shoulder. I don't know. It's up to you, but he seems safe. And the rest is history. So there it is.
I know it, and Jeremy said it. It's all because of the Gina footage from MegaCon.
That really helped.
That helped a lot. Thank you, Ben and Josiah, for not recording.
For screwing up. Yeah. Gina Carano at MegaCon Orlando said, I want to thank Geeks and Gamers and stuff. And the Geeks and Gamers that were supposed to be recording that stopped recording right before she said that. But Tom was recording. So Tom's like, here you go. So that was like, Jeremy.
What MegaCon was that?
Orlando, right?
2021?
2 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, 2021.
Yeah. The one that was in August that year, right?
Yes.
I think that, because that was the first
August?
year I lived up.
Because last year was March. Because the last one was March. So
Yeah.
Was it March or April?
No, the first one that Gina was at was August.
Okay.
Then the next one, the year next in 2022 was March.
Christopher Arcella, you crazy man.
Whoa, what's going on here? Thank you, dude. What happened? I'm reading this and I'm like, thank you, Christopher. I don't know who you are, but you're epic. Thank you for that.
Oh, Christopher, what a good guy.
I asked that. Who's Jarbo?
You don't want to know.
Oh, God, you don't want to know who Matt Jarbo is.
Yeah, you don't want to know.
So now I do.
How you don't?
No, actually I do. And you know what? I watch a lot of Geeks and Gamers and I don't know who Jarbo is.
He's not a
He's one of our haters.
Oh, is he like, what is it, MCU fan?
No, he's a lot worse.
Yeah, because I'm always in there and then you guys are talking about it, and yes, hail the 199. I finally found I was not in that stream about why the 199 came up, and then I was watching it the other day and Jeremy told the story and I was like, that's hilarious.
Matt Jarbo's a YouTuber and he got really popular, and he butts heads a lot with Geeks and Gamers and Nerdrotic a lot. So I have nothing against the dude. Like I don't really know who he is that well, but apparently in the sphere, you either love him or you hate him. So I posted the link in my Discord. Oh, you can read it. It's like, sorry, Logan, Jay posted your link and your thumbnail made me think you were Matt Jarbo. I asked if that was Jarbo, and Jay the liar said yes, and I believed him. Here, take this super chat as my sincere apologies.
And I greatly, greatly appreciate that. And you know what?
I literally typed yes, that's him, and then I went, no, he's not. Like right after. I guess he didn't see that part.
So where did you post the link?
In my Discord.
Oh, okay, that's why. I was like, yeah, I actually I've deleted most of my social media off my phone because I realized I was paying too much attention to this and not with, my life. Want to spend more time when I'm out and about focusing on my wife and stuff like that. So unless I'm on my computer, I don't even see Twitter or whatnot anymore, or X as we want to call it. So yeah, I didn't know if you guys had posted it.
I wish I could do that.
Well, for me, it's only a short period of time. I'll do it. I'll just delete it for a few weeks and then come back just because I need to do the head clear thing. I'm sure you guys get that quite a bit where people just make you go, oh, and then you just need to clear it out of your mind. So
I travel so much that, it's almost like you have to. It just does it automatically. So I social media is just a part of like work. So it's just, I consider, the things I do on Twitter and everything is just part of like work. So I get paid to tweet now. So it's pretty wild.
Yeah. How is that? You
I'll
just
let
tweet
you
and all of a
know.
sudden they give you money?
Yeah. Last month I did $90. So we'll see what this month is.
Just to give your opinion on things? Man,
Just
that's
wow. The impressions, I think the quartering posted something about 100,000 equals this much, or 300,000. Like,
yeah, but the quarter. Don't listen to like Jeremy, whatever. Like he's just upset because more people are like tweeting now, and it's like it messed up his feed. So he's trying to like convince people not to tweet as much to get paid. So
really,
yeah, Jeremy from the quartering, call you out. So
wow, you're calling out Jeremy from the quartering on my little podcast.
Yeah.
I do watch him from time to time.
I work with him. Like we do coffee brand coffee. So
yeah, I went to when I saw you had that affiliate link, I went to go buy stuff and I'm like, wow, there's no flavors that I want. And I went, do I just buy it just to buy it?
The tea is really good. I've been buying the tea.
The tea is good. I got the hot chocolate right now.
Yeah, my wife likes that, but she's on this no caffeine kick.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm like, okay. And then I was looking at Cass Brew, and I was like, man, I really like Cass Brew.
Oh, look at Sarah. She says subbed.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Christian Rocker's here. Good people. Sarah, she's from across the pond. Good people.
Whoops. Okay. I will never. Oh, hey, Cody, how's it going? Why will you never buy food online again? Has anybody had bad experiences with food online?
He just said period. He will never buy food online. Not again. He's just like, I will never do it.
I will.
It's a broad proclamation. Because sometimes you could get good deals for food online. Like, I'm saying.
So wow, it's going faster than I can keep up. Is the hot chocolate any good? I was going to ask you that.
Yes.
So what makes it so good? Sell me on this stuff because I was tempted.
Rich and creamy. Well, the one thing about seriously, like the coffee brand coffee, when you place an order, they make it right then and there. So it's not like sitting in a box or a shelf waiting to be sold. So that's like one of the reasons why like I wanted to do a coffee. Hey, Lulu Blue is in the chat. What's up, Lulu? And they convinced me with that. They sent me a couple packs for free before I said yes. And then the fact that I love coffee. I drink it all the time. So
see, that's me and G Fuel. Oh, wow. Nice mug there.
There it is.
See, you know what's really cool? We have coffee mugs ourselves. If you in the shelf below for our Teespring shop, we now have coffee mugs. That's what we kind of spent our last podcast doing, just like trying to push our merch, and no one bought anything.
It's up and down, man.
I was like, I spent hours making all this new stuff, and people are like, no. Okay, wait. Thank you, good sir. Yes, I have a massive Power Rangers collection behind me.
What's up, Nick? Man, all my people here today.
The Ninja Turtles over there. Wow. Okay.
And people I don't know are here today. Nice.
Well,
there's one of mine.
Not one of mine. I can name the few people in here. You got Dave and Cody. Those are two that I normally see in mine that are here like every week. So Jay was the Black Ranger. You were the Black Ranger, Jay? In what series?
First series.
Oh, so you were Zach. You were Walter Jones?
Yeah.
I always thought Jay was the Pyramid, the Gold Ranger. I always thought he was the Gold Ranger. I don't know why. I felt like that made sense for Jay. Or would that been more of a Ryan thing since it's Pyramid?
Gold?
The Gold Ranger?
Green Ranger was my favorite. I liked him better when he was green and not white. Yeah, that's it.
Now,
he went to the White Ranger. That was cool, but I was like, still love the Green Ranger.
I don't know if you guys can see it, but I actually have the helmets up there, the Green Ranger and the White Ranger helmet.
Nice.
Okay.
And I have two full shelves of green and white. Yeah. I got to meet him before he passed away. And when I did hear, I was pretty upset. I was working at the Miami Book Fair that day, and I got the news, and my wife was all right, just go back to the room. I never thought a celebrity passing away would actually do anything to me. But when you go, wow, that's one of my childhood heroes, it actually hit me pretty hard. So
yeah, that was rough.
So, and he was a really good guy.
He was always awesome at cons. I've seen him a couple of times at them. He was always like a great person to fans.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I've met him 3 times. I don't know if you guys, I'm sure both you guys are familiar with Coliseum of Comics.
Yes. Yeah, I am.
The one in Kissimmee is where I met him.
And okay.
We got there. His last appearance was, I think, at the end of 2021, December. I get in there, he's packing up, and I'm like, oh no, they're probably already gone. I get back there, there's no line, everything's packed up, and then I go, I'm sorry to interrupt, can I still get a picture? He's like, come on, get over here. And then they opened everything back up, took everything back out just for me. And I was like, man, this guy's epic.
Yeah, always.
So I could go on talking about him for hours.
Tom's not much of a comic book person. He's like more of theme park, so he probably's never been to that comic shop.
I've only lived here for like 3 years. I don't know. What it was.
I've only been here for 2.5. I'm from South Florida.
No excuse, Tom.
Yeah,
but I'm on the beach.
No, but I tried to tell you, like I tried to help you out. not everyone's into comics, and that's totally cool.
I used to be. I have, I think 10,000 something comics, and then I stopped because of, you know how comics are now. So
I like older comics. I like the.
That's what I do now. I collect all the. I re-got all the older ones. Somebody sent me in the mail after the Indiana Jones Sadness movie, and I was like on a live stream just saying I couldn't even. I was like saying like I can't even review this movie because I hate it that much. And they sent me Indiana Jones 1 through like 6, like in near mint condition, like one, like the whole run, like 1 through 60 or something like that.
Wow.
But yeah, they're all. I just grabbed a couple from the shelf, but they're all like in like mint condition.
Wow.
So I was like, dude, why? And he goes, I had them in a box. I figured you could use some cheering up. I was like, officially cheered up. So there it is.
I actually have. Are either of you guys He-Man Masters of the Universe fans?
Big time. But I don't have much of his collection, but I love He-Man.
I have some of the toys. I did not do I have some of the toys back from the 90s. They were hand me downs. So
the 90s or because it was the 80s or the early 2000s. So they
I
were
got them in the 90s because that's when I was.
Okay.
I'm an 88 baby, so I got them in the 90s.
Oh, you're okay. You're still in the 80s, barely. Jay, yeah. What year were you born, Jay?
1950.
Okay. So you're still pretty young. You're still pretty young.
No.
He's spry.
No. Yeah.
I actually have. I was born 75. The same year that He-Man came out. I was born 83. So my wife is actually throwing my 40th birthday next month. And she's doing He-Man themed because 40 and it's 40. So I was like, yeah, I've got all kinds of He-Man stuff over here and just right out of camera all over here too. So all my old stuff is in the garage though.
Are you going to redo Ghostbusters 2 and have like come out and say, I want a He-Man party, He-Man.
Wow. You know, I actually had a He-Man party when I was 3, 4. Yeah, I saw pictures and I even had the little cake toppers, so I can technically say I had it. So, but I'm old. I'm old, and I can keep going.
No, that would have been after the second Ghostbusters film. That was 87.
Was that 87? Okay, now you're making me. That was the same year as the Masters of the Universe movie.
89. I was a little bit off.
Ghostbusters 2 was 89? Yep, yeah. 89. I think I saw that in theaters.
That explains then the He-Man line. Because if Masters of the Universe came out first, it'd actually be very meta.
Yeah, it was 87.
They back then.
And it's funny because I just watched it last night. I was like, man, I haven't seen the movie in ages. And I watched the whole thing last night and I forgot that I know almost all the words to that movie. There's only 2 movies in existence that I know all the words to. And Masters of the Universe is one of them. And Ninja Turtles is the other.
I don't know if I know all the words to any movie. That's kind of a lot.
I've seen Ninja Turtles well over 100 times, so I saw it in theaters. I
think if you played a movie that I've seen, like Raiders of the Lost Ark or something, and I could probably like go along with the lines, probably have them down. So
Jay will just start talking the entire Goonies movie right now. We'll just go through every single line.
Goonies. Well, the problem with the Goonies is there's like a lot of kids and they're all like screaming and over like there's a lot of scenes of them yelling over top of each other. So it's kind of hard to get that. But
wait, what's Goonies going on in special. Here? I'm sorry. I'm just looking at the chat now, and somebody's talking about a penis.
Yeah, that was the guy that I said was not from my chat. Or not from my, not one of mine.
Either.
Apparently, he's someone who watches my channel, and he said it, but I've never seen him in a chat before. But hey, what is this? Will I be getting the new green? Yeah, the Master Morpher. Oh no, the Jogger hoodie. Have you guys seen those on Instagram yet?
The superhero brand or whatever that does them.
Yeah, and they're doing the track suits.
Yeah, I've seen them. I've seen them do other stuff for like Nightwing and stuff like that. I've not looked into the company that makes them, but I've seen them on ads on Instagram.
Yeah, I haven't seen any of the other superhero stuff. I just saw Power Rangers because I follow a ton of Power Rangers stuff, and it showed up on mine, and I'm like, man, if I wasn't so fat, yes. I have pretty rough love handles, so, or as my wife likes to call them.
Nah, I saw you, man. You're
man
not
handles.
that bad.
See, I keep going up in weight and then going down, going up, going down. So
that's all right. I have
It
COVID
happens.
weight. I'll never
Yo-yoing
lose.
happens.
I'm in the same boat. I've got that COVID weight. I put on 20 some odd pounds, and now I'm trying to work it off.
I've had COVID weight for the past 15 years, so I'm okay.
Yeah, but you're also taller. Like I didn't expect you to be that much taller than me. You're what, 6'2"?
Oh man, why you insult a 6'4" man?
You're 6'4"?
Yeah.
It's the reason why I always stand like 7 feet behind Jay, so I don't look like a midget.
I was like, because I'm only 6 feet tall. You didn't look 6. Well, but I guess because I'm used to standing next to one of my friends who's 6'2", and okay. Oh, and then hey, thanks, John. Yeah, that's a friend of mine who's always in every one of my chats. Who was actually my second subscriber.
Oh, look at that.
My wife was my first one. So, yeah, I wanted to ask you guys about, well, have you guys followed anything gaming related? Do you guys follow anything? I know, Tom, you do a lot of the Fortnite stuff over there. I've seen you guys play Fortnite quite a bit. So I was like, okay. And then I've seen some of the stuff you post. So have you followed anything about Sony and the hack lately?
I did keep up with TGS or Tokyo Game Show, and I've read a little bit about the hack, but I have not gone too much. I only watched what they talked about in Main Event the other night about it, pretty much.
Yeah, see, I missed that. What were they saying?
Basically, the hack wasn't as big deal as people thought. It was like 6,000 people.
6,000 files?
So,
but apparently, there's more in those files that we know. But Sony's not saying anything about it, so hopefully it's not that big. I'm just hoping it's not account stuff. So I was wondering, because it's been all over the gaming sphere for the last few days, and I was wondering if you guys had seen or heard or had discussed it.
Personally, I haven't.
Not yet, because sorry, Tom, I didn't mean to cut you. It's just like waiting for more. Like a lot of this happens is like you just got to wait for more information to come out and just see what actually happened. Because like you said, like I said, the initial report said there was only 6,000 accounts, and then it was like, I guess you're saying it was files, and then they're not sure. But I'm pretty sure if it was like something like really crazy, we'd all be getting an email from them saying, "Hey, your account's out there. Sorry."
I made two videos on it, and I've got people saying that it was a hoax, while Sony said no, it's not a hoax. And they're still like, yes, it is, because said YouTuber said it. And I'm like, okay, sure.
Oh, yeah.
And then I have people saying that they've been locked out of their PlayStation accounts.
I have not been locked out of my PlayStation account.
I haven't seen that either.
And I mean, last time when they had their big big hack last time, I mean, we got emails right away, it seemed like, for that.
Yeah.
The PlayStation network went down for months. Right. So, and they also didn't say if this was studio side or PlayStation side. They just said Sony.
Yep. It was a Sony thing.
Yeah. So I don't know if there's like movie stuff in there too. This is Zort. Hi, MJ Fever. I'm sorry.
Fiev. That's actually my wife.
Oh,
she's in the chat. Yeah.
Hi, this is Zort. He's there's a whole story behind Zort, and it's a sad, gushy story. Jay's heard it before. So Zort was a nickname for my father. He had during high school. My dad passed away, and this was his favorite character in Star Wars. So when I could get this, I actually had like a little toy version from like I was a kid that I had in my pocket that I would take around. And when I could get this, so it's a way for my dad to still go around the parks with me, because we would do our own trips. Me and him would go down all the time and just go, because we're a vacation club. We can go down a lot. And so that's where Zort came from. He is, so sad story.
And even after that sad story, I still try to rip it off his shoulder and throw it away. But he's still with us.
Wow. Isn't that your second one?
This is actually Zort the 5th.
The 5th.
You can actually see you can see one up above my. So some things happen to Zorts. Their arms tend to fall off sometimes. They're get electrocuted if it rains too much. So I actually burnt my shoulder from one time when he got rained on, and it electrocuted my shoulder. So this is Zort the 5th. He's been a good Zort. He is
Zort the 5th.
Yeah. There will actually be Zombie Zort for one of the Halloween Horror Nights. I'm working on making him because
that was another thing I wanted to ask you guys. Have you guys been to Horror Nights? I haven't seen. I know, Tom, you have. I've seen your videos.
I am. So every time I was planning on going, the thunderclouds roll in, and I was taking Krista to go, and we just got rained out. And then so I'm waiting. Like this week, I checked the weather. It's like rain every day, and like at night. And so I'm waiting. Next week, I will be at Halloween Horror Nights, and as much as I can, because I spent all that money on the frequent fear pass, and I haven't even used it yet. So,
which are sold out now, by the way.
I know. So I'll be going I'll be going.
Yeah, I have
forever.
a friend who got one of those. I went. We went on. I think it was the 13th, and we bought the Express. Those things, I swear, are getting more and more expensive every year. But we were able to do every house, and then we did Dueling Dragons twice.
Dueling Dragons is so much
Dueling
fun.
Dragons? That hasn't been around since.
That's the house.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
The house.
Yeah, and I got the shirt. It took me forever to find a location that sold the shirt in my size. I couldn't find it anywhere. So I was able to find one, and we picked it up, and then it was actually pretty good. I liked last year better, but I thought the Dueling Dragons was good, and so was even though I'm not a fan of The Last of Us, I think that house was actually pretty good.
If you're a fan of the first game, the house is actually very good. I have not done all the houses. I've done 4 of them. And I think the Exorcist one was really good, and Stranger Things. Those were the 2 IP ones that I thought were really good, that had some decent jump scares. I have no clue what's going on in Stranger Things. I haven't watched it. So I was kind of had no clue. I'm like, oh, hi. Okay.
It was very season 4, but some of the things that it looked like the girl on the ceiling from the trailer, I forgot what character that was, but it was so hilarious looking, and I was just like, wow, some of the things just looked really bad. And I didn't think the scare zones were that good this year.
I agree on the scare zones. I'm not gonna I will say I've done Hollow Scream and Halloween Horror Nights so far this year. Both of them seem to be a little bit less this year, in my opinion. I think there's less theatricality with Dr. Facilier compared to the Pumpkin Lord for Halloween Horror Nights.
Right.
Like the Pumpkin Lord was just such a big character when you walked in.
So that's the I guess the character.
The icon for this year. It's Dr. Facilier. No, Dr. Oddfellow. Okay, that's a problem. See, Dr. Oddfellow, Facilier is from Princess and the Frog. I get them confused. I really do. So Dr. Oddfellow, it's Zodiac's voodoo stuff, and each of the Zodiac signs equal a house.
That's why I was like, who is that character? Because we saw him on some kind of a stage, and I'm like, who is that guy? I haven't seen him in any marketing or anything. Where last year I saw the Pumpkin Lord everywhere.
He's on the shirt. He's on the official house tour shirt that you can buy that has all the houses on the back. He's a good character performer. It's just it seems like everything got pulled back a little bit, and I think it's less impressive because you walked in before and you had all the scare actors there. You had one from each house when you walked straight into this thing. Now it's like you go in and there's nothing. You have to make a right and go.
Do you think they did that because of the whole Minions thing they just built? They didn't want to cover up Minions?
No, Illumination said you couldn't do it. At least that's what I was told by team members. Illumination said that you can't have anything there Halloween. Like none of the Halloween stuff can be there.
That kind of sucks because, when you go straight in, it was kind of like a big thing.
Yeah.
Okay. That kind of sucks, but it is what it is. I wonder if they'll bring it back to Islands.
Again, I heard this from a team member. I could be wrong. Jay could know better than me. That the IPs that's there now don't want the Halloween stuff there.
Oh, okay.
I've heard that, yeah.
So that's what I've heard. And Jay has much more better connections to.
Yeah, but your boots on the ground, brother. I haven't been because I like signing. Went to Alabama now the Comic Cons. It's like I just keep missing the theme parks. So hopefully this month of October
It's been so hot. Like it's been hard for us to go. There was a day when my wife and I went to, I think we went to Epcot, like at the very beginning of the Food and Wine Festival. We were there for an hour. And we're like, nope, can't do this. It was ridiculous.
As much as we all joke about it, like with Iger saying, "Oh, it's the heat." Look, I like it, in the summer. I was like, it had to be after 5 o'clock. I would not go into a theme park unless it was after 5 o'clock. Like you could not do middle of the day. You would literally have heat stroke possibly, even if you're used to being here. Or early morning worked, but like middle of the day, no, it just was.
I never had a problem.
Jay's built for the Florida heat.
I got a big fat hat.
I'm still waiting for like a branded sun hat.
But no, Tom is right. There were some days, we went and it was like, if we don't get dinner reservations somewhere in one of these parks where we could just sit inside for a little bit, then we're gonna head out. There was some brutal days out, that's for sure.
We did go to I think it was this weekend that it was Sunday after church. My wife and I went to Epcot for the Moana thing because we got the passes, and we finally got in line, and then the line was all the way back out to Spaceship Earth. We're like, nope, peace, we're out. So we didn't even do it.
For something, and I'm not going to talk for something that's supposed to be a walkthrough attraction it's not supposed to be an attraction. It's just supposed to be a walkthrough area that you leisurely go through. There shouldn't be a line, period. It should be like, all right, go in, walk around. Like, I don't get it. I
had to wait 2 hours, almost 3. And then once they said, oh yeah, okay, you're called. They're like, oh, it's going to be another hour and a half wait. I'm like, no, I'm sorry. And I don't even like Moana.
Yeah. I'm like, in a year, it'll be
toddlers in there.
Yeah, it'll just around.
Zup D-Man, how you doing today? D-Man Gaming. He's one of the guys who's always in my chat on our episodes. Thank you for being here. Oh yeah, and that was one thing. My wife's saying her brother came, and we went to Disney and I think Universal. No, SeaWorld, and it was over 101 degrees. Not including the heat index.
SeaWorld is not a good park on a hot day. Yeah. There's like one air conditioned zone. Like go in the penguin thing. If it's hot, go in the penguin thing. Get your.
That was the one thing we didn't do.
You didn't?
I don't remember if we did it.
Nah, you would remember because it's like 28 degrees in the penguin room.
The thing is, we do the penguin thing every time we go, but I don't remember doing it. I remember going through the shark thing.
They're gonna open the ride, right, Tom? Like the
SeaWorld.
I just saw that
announced. So it's a B&M coaster, which has done a lot of the coasters at SeaWorld recently, and Busch Gardens. And finally they're bringing back. So if you've been to the Penguin Encounter, they used to have a dark ride that you would go on. You would go through dark ride, and you'd end up in the Penguin Encounter. That's why there's actually tracks on the inside to the right when you walk in. So now they're going to do a family-style launch coaster. Think sort of like Hagrid's a little bit, but maybe a little bit. It's a 3,000-foot track, so it's a decent-sized track. So it's actually kind of cool. It looks like SeaWorld's going back to theming, which I really appreciate because they did.
Didn't you just post something about that?
I tweeted about it this morning
because I think it was on Instagram that I saw you.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because they released more of the concept art on Instagram, which looks really cool. It's going to be ice themed, like Antarctic. And
it's indoor, right?
It's indoor outdoor.
Yeah. Okay.
The track right now is right near Manta. You can actually see a decent amount of it. If you go on Manta, you can see the footholds being placed down.
Oh, the penguin ride?
Yeah.
Already?
Why did they put that over there?
That's where the ride's gonna be, and it's gonna end up over where the penguins are. So that like placement is actually makes sense.
Weird.
So you're gonna end up getting off the ride in the penguin like encounter.
Do you remember the original penguin ride, Tom? It was just like a movie.
The VR movie.
You want to know how old I am? I remember before there was a ride there when it was just a walk-through theater, and you could see the glass go up to the ceiling and see the penguins in there. You couldn't even see the area or smell the fish. This was 80 something. 1988, 89, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was down there, alive. But I was one. My first time going to a theme park, I was 18 months old. So I was down there probably around that time frame. But at that point in time, my family was staying at Caribbean Beach, and we went to 2 parks.
Thanks, John. I appreciate it. Thanks for being here. But so continue.
I do not remember that. I do remember the VR ride. They also had a ride over in the Walrus Encounter. That was also a dark ride back then. Those two were really good.
That was a helicopter ride.
Yeah.
To the Antarctic. Yeah.
Chris is going to start bringing up theme park stuff now. Chris is also a old theme park head.
Chris has got a lot of knowledge, man. Chris has got a lot of knowledge, baby.
Ironic they made and opened a Moana water fountain walkthrough, considering Disney is notorious for getting rid of every single fountain through the park. Like yes, they did in the Caribbean Plaza or the one in the Land Pavilion. Yeah, that sucks. I missed the one that was in the middle. I appreciate that more than you know.
They got rid of every fountain in Saratoga Springs.
They did.
I'm like I said.
Oh my God, they did.
If you look at so they had hotel in between every house, like every like the
I remember that
they would have fountains when you walked out in front or in behind. Now they're just planters. They filled them in. Like I noticed this the last time I was there because it's been a while since I've stayed at Saratoga. If you're DVC,
right.
It's the hotel of last resort for us. We kind of don't like staying there. It's bad transportation. But like the last time I was there, I'm like, this was a fountain before, and I'm like, I brought up a picture from like 8 years ago. I'm like, yep, it was a fountain before. So they just want to pay for the water.
That was my favorite resort. I like the fact that it was way away from everything. And I like the fact that I could walk to Disney Springs.
Do Old Key West better. Old Key West is better.
Oh, yeah. Old Key West is now my favorite. Definitely. Hands down. We like staying in the back away from everything. But last time we stayed there before we moved up here, they put us, we got one of the villas.
That would be the Miller's Crossing. Miller Crossing is the back.
That's
the one home resort.
That's the one with the where the street and you can hear the cars just running.
Yeah.
And we're like, how are we going to sleep? So we went back up to the front and then we told them, like, sure, okay, where do you want to stay? What building? And I'm like, I don't know, one far away from the road. They're like,
always Turtle Pond. Turtle Pond is the correct choice. Always.
That's where they moved us. And it was in 2020. So it's the same thing. They did that to us with, what is it? Dang it. The one with three bridges. Coronado.
Coronado's a great resort.
They put us in the old wing and we're like, no, we wanted a room in the tower. So we're like, okay, well, we'll just stay in this room. And then we could hear is like the walls were paper thin and the air conditioner wasn't working right and the bed sucked. And I went, all right, I had to walk all the way down and they're like, sure. What floor do you want to be on? You want to be in the tower? This has the nicest view. Just move up here. Well, and I was like, okay, but that was all in 2020. Since then, they've not been so nice.
I will say, for me personally, they used to do this, like I guess you call it pixie dust, the magic. I was in a room in Animal Kingdom Lodge in the Katani Village, a 2-bedroom. One of our light bulbs burst fire, like at 3 a.m. Like someone went into the bathroom and went on, and there was a small electrical fire. So this was at the point in time when Pandora really popular, Fast Pass Plus time frame, and it was the year after it opened up. Because the first year we were able to
2018,
2017, I think.
Did it open in 17 or 18? You would know.
It's 2017, I believe.
Okay, yeah, because I remember it was open because my wife and I actually got married at Disney, and it was open when we were up here. That's the only reason I remember that. We used to go like, okay, yeah. Chris says it's 2017.
May 27th.
Okay, yeah.
So we had a room. I would always do big trips. So like my brother would come down with his kids and stuff like that. They were 3-ish at that point in time. So one of them.
Where were you living at the time? You weren't living in Florida.
I was in North Carolina at the time. I moved down here 2020. So
I love North Carolina. My family has a house up in Allegheny County near Sparta.
Okay. I was in Pittsburgh near Chapel Hill.
Okay. I've been through there. I don't
Chatham
remember it too well, but okay.
But so we lost a bulb and the night manager came in and the waking up at like 7 in the morning, 60 days out to try and get a flight of passage fast pass.
I remember those days.
And the guy's like, well, you had the extra morning hours today. So we're just going to give you like 10 fast pass pluses everyone to just use for whatever you want to do. And we're just like, all right. And they're like, do you want to change rooms? We're like, well, we don't really want to. It's like, well, we can put you into a grand villa. I'm like, okay. Like that was when Disney Disney still did Disney things.
You know what? Something like that happened similar at Animal Kingdom. What's the fancier of the two resorts? Because we stayed at both. It's the one that's further back. Is it Jumbo House?
So Jumbo House has the concierge level. That is the technically non-DVC, even though there's a DVC level. So
okay.
the top two levels of Jumbo House are DVC. Kidani is technically the full DVC resort, and that has Sanaa in it. I would consider Jumbo House the fancier, bigger lobby, the bigger Savannah.
Okay, because that
funny, was which is the nicer one, and Tom gives a whole DVC speech, which was not even the question.
I used to be DVC.
I'm sorry.
That's fine. I recently sold my DVC because we weren't using it. So, but yeah, we stayed at one of the. I think it was a Jumbo House, whichever one has the bigger lobby and the bigger rooms.
Yes,
we did a whole thing there, and we got it was supposed to be the villa that had 2 bedrooms in it.
The 2-bedroom villas.
Okay, so we go to check in and we get the room, and we walk in and we're like, wait, this is one room with a door that opens up to another room, which was actually the room next door. And they're like, this isn't what we're paying for. So I was like, okay. And then my wife goes, no, this isn't going to do. She goes down to the counter. We all go back out there, and I step back, and then she goes on her little rant. I'm like, okay. They fix it. They're like, oh, I'm sorry, we don't have any other rooms. We'll give you a discount. They give us fast passes and all that. And then they called her. Somebody from Disney, I don't know who, called her and said, all right, we're going to give you a free stay at whatever resort you want, at whatever level. We got a free, I think it was 2 free days at Grand Floridian at their, I can't remember, but it was the grand expensive room that had,
I would have gotten the bungalow, man.
They didn't give us that. The bungalow wasn't a part of that.
Okay,
so it was in one of the main buildings, not any of the standing ones. We tried.
The $2,500 a night room.
Yeah, no, ours was, I think this was a $1,700 a night room. So we went, okay. That's what they gave us. And then we had that concierge access where they kept texting. Oh, do you need anything? Is there anything? And then they would call. What can we help you with? Is there any food or anything we could bring to you? I'm like, okay. So, and we had one of like the best breakfasts.
Concierge level back in the day with that stuff. You got 3 extra fast passes thrown in. You could book 90 days out, and they just booked everything. You said, oh, I want this. All right, here you go. You got it. Dining reservations, whatever it was, they just did it. You never had to worry.
Do you still have DVC?
Yeah, I rent it out sometimes. I use it for room reviews. Like I will book I'm going to be staying at the cabins at Wilderness Lodge.
I did. That was right before the pandemic. It was fantastic. My wife and I made tacos that night.
Yeah, I'm doing that January.
Best memories.
It's kind of, I have no reason not to. I already paid off the loan. It's
okay.
It's like $1,500 a year. Like I think it's that much. Like dues are cheap for Old Key West. So like, why am I gonna get rid of this? I can still use it. So, okay, wait. What?
I don't like the Animal Kingdom Lodge because when I stayed at the DVC room, which I don't have, but someone gave it to me, it was like a 10-mile walk straight down. And it's like, am I ever gonna get there? And they're just like, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. So that was.
But did you have a Savannah view?
Yeah.
That's why you had to walk forever.
Yeah.
Did you have the giraffe come up to your balcony? Yeah, so did we. I was like, I think that was kind of worth it because it was cool to wake up and wow, there's a giraffe right there.
It was a long. I just couldn't believe like there's just like the lady at the front. She goes, "Do you need any help with your bags?" Like, no. And she's like, "It's a really, really long walk because like those rooms are like the last rooms." And so I'm just like, oh, how. How far could it be?
That's the exact same thing I did, and I was carrying. We got like I said, we got the double whatever it was. So my mom and my sister were staying with us too. We did the whole thing. So I'm carrying not just my bags, not just my wife's bags, my mom's as well. So all that distance, and they're like, "Oh no, let me help you." I'm like, "No, I got this. I got this." Me being Mr. Tough Guy. Of course, I get there and I'm like, "My bag is broken."
So
yeah.
So trip advice. I know Sarah's coming down at some point soon. Trip advice: that first day, if you're flying in, check your bags. Use that day. Use the full day. Let them carry it to your room.
That's half the reason.
I'm sorry, I read that one and I was like, okay. So
the other thing is, if you're staying at Animal Kingdom and you're driving, Kidani is the better choice because you can park underneath your room.
Yeah.
That's the better the one to stay at.
The first time I was staying there, that's where we stayed because I was able to park underneath there. I remember that.
And your car doesn't stay hot. My viewpoint, it's like I might be weird. It's just like the fact that like my car is protected, like it's underneath the building. I guess if the building falls, it's bad. But like I don't like.
See, that's what bothered me. I was like, what if the building falls? And I'm like, it's been here for how many years? But I'm like, what if it falls?
Well,
and my mom's like, come on,
first before your car. I guess.
But what was I driving at the time? I think I just got my new Camaro at that time, so I was really paranoid.
All right.
So
nice car.
Nice.
What? No, I don't have it anymore, unfortunately. Last year, we'll not get into any of the political stuff, but finances got really crappy. But this year, I was able to buy a brand new truck. So,
good for you, man.
Yeah, so things got a little better. Got myself. Are either of you guys car guys or truck guys or?
I'm a Jeep guy.
What?
Okay.
I have to get a new car, and I'm buying a 4xe.
What happened? What happened?
Wait, 4xe?
Well, I found one that
electric.
I found one that has 8,000 off. It's 8,000 miles, and it's 50% off a Rubicon top trim, top of the line, down to 40. Instead of being 71,
but it's electric.
It's plug-in, which means I can park in the front at the theme parks. I'm thinking very crucially about this because
it's electric,
partial electric, and that means I can park in the front at the theme parks.
Okay, I feel you on that, but it's still electric. I'm sorry, I'm an old school guy like that.
I have a hour drive to the theme parks.
Oh, you're that far out?
I live on the coast.
Oh, well, that makes sense since you do all the is it Cocoa Beach?
Yeah, I'm around there.
Okay.
The best way to say that.
Because I seen you on, I was like, is that the area? Because you'll post Cocoa Beach stuff. I'm like, okay.
But so having a 50 mile per gallon truckish type thing, theoretically, seems like a nice idea. But yeah, my C-Max died. It died.
I get 19 miles per gallon.
Yeah,
the car died. The one the red one.
There's a story I'll talk to you about later, Jay.
There was a time Ford? we won't share. There was a time me and Tom had the same exact car. Mine broke first, and this is going. It was like I couldn't believe we had the same car.
Hey and man, those were good gas.
And then mine died. Mine died first. They were hybrids, and it was just like the battery just stopped working in mine, and they were like, it's gonna cost you $6,000 to get it fixed. And I'm like, what? I was like, no, I'll just get another car. And I was like, no more hybrids for me. I'm done. That thing gave me so many problems. It was a nightmare. Tom says it was a good car for him, which is cool, but
mine was 3 years later, right? Yours was a 2013. I think.
Yeah.
I mean, luckily I had a backup car. So my dad always told me have a whatever it is, have a backup car. So I had my other Focus, which I wasn't using as much. So right now I'm driving that.
Big Red is no longer with us.
Yeah, I'll talk to you later about that. It was
no problem.
But as to Dawn's question, so Hollywood Studios, the plugs are right in front of the entrance. Same with some of the resorts, they have the plugs. Actually, All By Me has them because the area. So there are plugs everywhere. There's a lot of chargers in Florida, to be honest. So
See, where I live, they're only at Wawa. That's it. No other place has
really?
chargers around here. Yeah.
The beach has chargers here. Like you can go park at the beach and there's chargers at the beach.
When I live in South Florida at Fort Lauderdale Beach and Miami Beach, because I used to work in downtown Miami, they had them all through there. But Fort Lauderdale Beach installed them maybe a couple of years before I moved up here. But here, unless you're at a Wawa, there's nothing. And I'm like, that's fine. I don't really care. And most people, I don't know anybody that has an electric car. Not one person. Oh no, I take that back. He works for Microsoft. One guy. Sorry. Friend of mine.
I know quite a few people with Teslas.
Yeah, that's what he has is a Tesla. He ordered the Cybertruck. Forgot about that.
Oh.
But all my other friends, it's trucks or muscle cars. That's it.
Right now is a great time to buy a truck. They are they are not selling well.
Well, mine, unfortunately, brand new. I got the 2023 Colorado Trail Boss. The factory that produces those, they went on strike. So brand new truck, you can't get them now because the union workers went on strike. And now people are like, how are we going to get our brand new ones? And I'm like, I got mine.
I mean, the Gladiators are 10% off at least MSRP right now. They're 20 grand off in California. People aren't buying them. They bought them the first year it came out, and they just stopped.
Aren't they like $8 a gallon over there?
I would just leave California.
I think we all would. There's a reason we all live in Florida.
Even Florida's gas is higher than some other areas. It's better, but it's still high.
And it also depends on where you are. Like when I went to South Florida, it was, I think, almost 70 cents more than it was up here. But I'll travel to Sanford and then it'll be 40 cents more than it is where I am. And I'm like,
there's county and city taxes. And that really makes a difference. I can go 2 blocks and be in an unincorporated area and it's 20 cents cheaper. I go 2 blocks the other way and it's a city and I'm getting city and county taxes on the gas. So yeah, it's that way.
Yeah. I can continue talking to you guys about this because this is kind of the whole reason. I know you guys go so much to the theme parks and we'll talk about it quite a bit on our, like I said, on the side quest at the end after we talk about the gaming stuff. And there's a lot of people that want to come down here who don't live in Florida. They're like, oh, I'm planning a trip. Let's do this because I'll either be wearing a t-shirt or I'll say, oh, I just went to Universal or something like that. So to have an entire episode based around this with you guys, I thought was pretty cool. I was going to title it like Park Hopping or something, but I know people love the Geeks and Gamers brand. So I was like, yeah, let me throw that. Both of you guys there. But I do want to talk to Jay about his pirate channel.
Oh,
so
cool.
You just did this and I went, oh, yeah.
I just leaned back in the chair.
He's like,
been in the chair all day, seems like. So,
what made you want to do that channel, by the way?
I was a history major and got my master's degree in like Roman history, but I was always fascinated with pirate history. So, as much as I could break off from like the Roman history stuff, I did as much. Golden age of piracy and the pirates in China, things like that. And so anytime I was with like my brother or some of my friends, I was just constantly like, we talk pirates, or I'd be reading a book about it or something. It just wasn't something I really like promoted too much.
Mm-hmm.
And finally my brother was just like, will you just start a stupid channel, man? So you can get all this stuff out. I don't want to hear it anymore. Can you just start the dumb thing? Like, just have fun with it. And I was like, I didn't even think about it. So it's like, I didn't even think that could be a thing. So I love it, man. I'm so glad he like talked me into doing that. So it's like, I'm having a blast over there.
See, my wife loves pirates. We both have like Pirates of the Caribbean is her favorite ride at Disney, hands down. So one year she even dressed up as a pirate for Halloween. And then I told her about this. She goes, what is the channel? Can you tell me what it is? And I was like, yeah. So she loves pirates. So that's why I was like, oh, definitely I have to bring that up. And we have, those shirts that you see at Pirates of the Caribbean that I be with she, and I be with she. We have those. So, but unfortunately I can't wear them because COVID weight. So.
Oh, well, it's like
a size down.
The cool thing with that channel is like it wasn't. I just figured we could cover all things like pop culture, pirates to historical figures, and everything in between, and just have fun doing it. And it's just honestly, like that's like a true passion. Like that's a I could talk for days. I'm like reading a book now about and it's crazy. I've been reading about the gentleman pirate, Steve Bonnet, and I'm just fascinated with this dude, man. Just like fascinated. He was a rich man who owned a sugar plantation in the Caribbean, and he was just loaded. He had more money, and like he spoke properly. He was well educated, and those type of people weren't usually pirates, but he had a big library, and in all his books were like pirate adventures. Captain Kidd was a hero of his, and see that's the fascinating thing is that these real life pirates were like heroes to people because they like told the king, kiss my butt. I'm gonna do what I want. It was like a sense of freedom and adventure, right? But honestly, pirate life wasn't a fun life. It was more gross than anything. But he was so
Didn't
rich.
You just post a video about pirates are gross?
Yeah.
I saw that pop up. I haven't watched it yet, but I saw it pop up, and I was like,
so he I won't be too long, but he had a wife and he had like children, and so he secretly took his money and bought a sloop, one of the small, and converted it where he had a really luxurious captain's quarters, and he was the only pirate to pay his crew like in advance, because normally like they come on your crew, and then if you plundered or whatever you did, then you would split the winnings. But he was like, I'll pay you first, and everyone laughed at him because he had no experience like on the sea. So he was this pirate, and like every time he came close to a ship, he raised his Jolly Roger and they surrendered. And he had a massive winning track record of never fighting and always winning. And he took on big ships and little ships. And they called him the gentleman's pirate because he spoke properly and he didn't know how to steer a ship and he didn't know anything. But he kept winning until finally one day he saw this Spanish man of war, and he's like, "We can take it. They'll surrender." Which is like, so you're talking about a ship that he had, which was like 30 guns, compared to a ship that had 140 guns. And he went to attack, and he almost died. Half his crew died. His ship was sinking, and he barely made it. The sloops were really fast. Those war galleons couldn't chase him because they were just way too big. And he ended up in Nassau, where a young pirate went to him and said, "Hey, I'll fix up your ship. Let me have your crew. I'll teach you how to sail. So let me take over. You'll be right next to me, and I'll make you the best pirate in all the world." And then that guy was Blackbeard.
Jack Sparrow. Oh,
Blackbeard. No, he wasn't a fake. Wasn't a fake. It was Blackbeard the pirate. That's how Blackbeard got his start.
Wow. So, like, you really do have a passion for pirates.
Yeah. It's such a cool story, though. Like, and it continues. Right. Like, that guy's whole life, like he left his wife and kids, and millions of dollars, like in today's market, just like millions, just to be a pirate. So you wonder what was going on in his mind, like he was like friends with governors and stuff like that, and it's like he ended up he hung, but pretty crazy story.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Wow. So like that can make such a cool movie. So and then there's Grace O'Malley, the female pirate from Ireland, who was married to the king of the pirates over there, and he was killed in battle. So this other kingdom wanted to merge the kingdoms in Ireland. So they're like, "Hey, why don't she marry this guy?" And she refused. So they kidnapped her kid. So she rallied up all the pirates in Ireland and defeated this army and got her kid back that was kidnapped. And she became like the queen over there for a while. It's such fascinating stuff that's out there.
Irish pirates. I had no clue that there was pirate. There might be pirate blood in me. I need to do that 23.
It's an island. It is an island. It makes sense. A lot of water.
Yeah, and a lot of whiskey. A lot of whiskey. I'm good when it comes to whiskey.
Yeah, a lot of cool stuff out there. A lot of cool stuff.
Really that much difference between Vikings and pirates?
Huge difference.
Yeah. Plus the show used to be really good. Not anymore.
Difference. Vikings were like family units that did a lot of training. Pirates were like homeless people that had no. They literally had like no skill, and so they would hope that they could like the statistics was like 95% of pirates on a ship couldn't even swim.
Wow.
So they just pushed them overboard. They died. So
I guess that's why the walk the plank was actually like threatening then.
Walk the plank is a Hollywood. They didn't do that in real pirates.
Really?
Yeah.
Are there any other things that Hollywood created for pirates that they actually don't do?
I think the way they talk was just kind of made up. Most pirates were French, English, or Spanish, so they had the accents. So that whole R, all that stuff was just like, where did that come from? That came from a lot of the pirate myths that we have today, like buried treasure, walking the plank, came from the book Treasure Island.
Mm-hmm.
And since that was like one of the oldest pirate books,
I read that as a kid.
They just took that over. Pirates did have birds, but they weren't really used as pets. They sold them because they were exotic birds. So a lot of the treasure that pirates would capture would not necessarily was gold, but it was like sugar, tobacco, things like that. And then so basically what would happen was they would rob a ship of their food and sugar and cargo and even slaves, and then take them to a pirate port where they would sell it, and then they would sell it at a cheaper price, and then those people would sell it in their stores. Kind of like, like like if you stole a bunch of PS5s, PlayStation 5s, and you sold it to an electronics store at like $100, they would just resell it for $200, and everybody would come, and it's just all instant profit, So it's kind of like that, the buying and reselling of stuff. So
AC Black Flag didn't actually get it that far off. Because a lot of times we were just stealing like
sales, you mean?
The Black Flag game, the Assassin's Creed.
Oh yeah. No,
like it didn't get that far off because you weren't really stealing gold. You like literally stole like goods.
Yeah,
you were just stealing rum and stuff like that and selling it.
Sadly, a lot of the trade was with slaves, so they were worth a lot of money, and so it's fascinating stuff. I mean, it's like there was no treasure to bury because it was all like food,
So what channel do you prefer doing? Your pirate channel or your main channel?
If History of Pirates I could do full time, I would definitely do it. So, but it's not, it's not really, how YouTube works. It's like, if you're not in a search engine or anything like that, then your videos get suppressed. So it's like, if people aren't necessarily searching for like pirate history, then, it's just not going to do well. So, but, I love
Graham,
it.
how's it going?
I'm having a
Graham's one of my regulars. Graham's glad to see some of my regulars.
I see the blue balls in the chat. That's awesome. But no, I'm having a great time, and pretty cool.
Yeah. It's funny. Well, the whole time you were talking about pirates, I'm looking over here. Tom's over here having just a conversation about theme parks with everybody. I'm like, they still haven't let that one go. And my favorite one is the Universal versus Disney. Which one's better? And I've just been paying attention. I'm trying to listen to Jay because it's so fascinating. But I'm like, what are they talking about over here?
Sorry for distracting. Jay,
thanks a lot, Tom. It's all right. Tom doesn't care about pirates, and
I love watching the History of Pirates channel. And that is my nephew Mitchell. His favorite YouTube channel is your channel. Is your pirate channel? He watches
awesome.
it. He watches it all the time. It's like he loves pirates. He still loves pirates, and I sent that to him, and he loves watching that. And like he thinks you're like a 10-foot tall pirate. Like he thinks you're like some huge 10-foot tall pirate. Like in his head, I'm like, he's tall. He's not 10 foot tall, but he's tall.
I like the AI. Who's doing the AI images for you?
I got a few people that would. They just like fans,
right?
Yeah, Wicked Virtue was one too. She's made a couple, but like a lot of it's just like a lot of fan art. So
Yeah, I've seen you post the number.
Like,
I'm like, that's pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, it's pretty. I'm having, dude. I love that channel. Like I look forward to writing for it and all that stuff. And I have some big. There is some major player stuff coming with that channel, and we've actually got a comic book coming out next August about a pirate. It's just there's a lot that's
when you
happening.
Say major players, what you're gonna have pirates on there or Johnny Depp or I mean,
I can't say at the moment, but
you can use this podcast to break it to the world.
Well, there's gonna be a lot of cool stuff happening. We're working on a major, like, that's the only other channel I have that has memberships, and so we're working on now, like, to get all my members, like, some pirate gold replicas and books being written. It's just like there's a lot of like museum people that I want to interview, and there has been 4 pirate museums across America up on the East Coast that have sent me emails opening the carpet. They're like, hey, please feature us on your channel. And I'm like, my channel's not even that. It's not even that at 5,000 subs yet. And it's like, they've opened. They're like, please come visit us and record in our museum. We'll give you a private tour and all this stuff. There's actually a place in Bath, North Carolina, that's called the Blackbeard Walk, where Blackbeard like stayed and everything, and they're like, please spend 4 days with it. It's pretty crazy. So pretty blessed, like, on how all that's just opening up. It's just like now it's just finding the time. So some people seem convinced that there were no real female pirates. Oh my gosh, there's like tons, like Anne Bonny, Mary Read. Now, Madame Chen is the most famous, successful pirate of all time, and she's from China.
Mary Read was the one who pretended to be a guy, right?
Who's that?
Was Mary Read the one who pretended to be pretended? And
but
then
Mary
she
Read
said,
also
I'm pregnant.
Mary Read also when Mary Read would fight, she would take her shirt off and it would distract the men. And she was able to kill them.
That is very smart.
Crazy, right?
That is an extremely smart idea.
Especially for pirates being stuck on a ship.
She would open up and expose herself, and people are like, I guess the men were like, "Oh, what is this here?" And she just stab him in the throat.
Yeah, yes, pirates are real.
And at that point in time, like, I'm not gonna like.
They steal video games all the time.
Yeah, that's how I watch Disney Plus.
Wait, so you've actually been watching Mandalorian? No.
Ahsoka, yeah.
Yeah,
I hear it's pretty bad, and I really liked Ahsoka. So, and I see you tweeting about it all the time.
It's not as bad as Kenobi.
Yeah.
Kenobi was awful.
This is just
it's just boring written, in my opinion. So
I will say there's a lot more butt shots than any other Disney Plus show. There is.
In terms of
Ahsoka and Hera and Sabine. Like, I don't know. I guess Dave Filoni went to the Joss Whedon school of whatever.
Well, I like old Joss Whedon when he did Buffy. I really enjoyed Buffy back in the day. I was a fan. I even played the game on Xbox. Do you guys remember there was an Xbox game, Buffy, and a PS2 one?
No, not an Xbox person.
What?
PlayStation. Me either. PlayStation only.
What?
Yeah.
What? Yeah. What? And I invited you guys on why?
I don't know. I
used to work for Microsoft. Come on.
I never owned any Xbox.
Maybe that's why the company went down in Xbox sales. I don't know, man.
Because I left. That's why.
Exactly.
They stopped selling them as I left. They're like, oh no, he's gone. We can't sell any more Xboxes.
Exactly.
Well, at least they didn't have to up their price like they do with PlayStation Plus. $80 a year. Who are you guys going to pay $80 a year to play online?
I'll get the version that comes with the streaming games or whatever, and I'll justify it that way.
I just had PlayStation Plus Premium, the big boy. That was $120 a year. Now it's $160 a year. I'm like, nah, I'm good. Yeah, $160 a year, paying $50 for Switch Online, $160 for PlayStation, and then what am I paying? $150 for Game Pass Ultimate? That's ridiculous.
Well, I don't have Game Pass Ultimate, so I don't need that. So I'll do my $160 for PlayStation.
Yeah, right.
I mean, do you guys even touch the Switch?
I play Mario Kart when I'm supposed to.
Yeah, I've seen you on that one. Yeah.
I will say, like,
I just hit 700 games physically.
Theme parks equal out a lot more money than gaming right now in terms of, like, actually, no, 160 a year. That's about the same price. Or is it 160 a year for the top tier PlayStation Plus? Or is it
160. That's why I
discontinued. Nothing compared to a top tier Disney annual pass. So,
well, I do have the Incredipass Pass. That is the top tier one, right?
Yeah, I did Sorcerer. I can take Christmas off.
So we like to go that week. So we do that, and then we also do the I added the photo pass thing on because no one in my family, no one else has it.
For $100, it's not a bad upgrade.
I don't have that.
Yeah.
And actually, Universal allows you to do that too with your pass. They don't tell you that, but apparently you can pay $100 and get the ride photos for the year.
You know what? I haven't seen a Universal ride photo in ages because none of the screens are working, or it always has the big sea attendant or something.
Yeah,
so we don't even bother.
Pictures.
Yeah, we used to do that all the time. But well, what are the Universal passes? I know I don't remember which one I have. I have the one that gives you
the top one.
Is that the one that gives you Express after 4?
Yeah, and then also gives you the one Halloween Horror Nights.
Okay, so yeah, that's the one I have. I have that one. And then we have the SeaWorld as well. We just recently renewed it. They auto-renewed it without telling us, and we're like, oh, we didn't realize we had it on auto-renew, so we've got another year of SeaWorld. So
SeaWorld does give you the, like, I guess depending on what one you have, you get the most discounts in the park. Because I think with like the platinum, it's like 35% off. I think, or something
and then
like
we
that.
have the 6 free tickets and the thing to go to
the animal.
What is it called? Aquatica and Busch Gardens.
Well, and depending if you're the platinum one, it's every SeaWorld, and then there is.
Yeah. That's the one we have, but we've not gone out of state yet. So at least not where there's a. Where are the other SeaWorlds or Busch Gardens?
San Diego. Busch Gardens, Williamsburg, which Jay's been to with Jake the Viking.
Oh, the one in Virginia, right? I've been to that one.
I went there once. I was too big to go on any rides at that point in time, so I petted the Clydesdales. I went in 90. When did Kid Rock come out? Ball with the Ball. It was that year. 2001, 2002, 2000. Ball with the Ball was like 99, I think.
No, so yeah, it must have been like 99, 2000 then, because I also got the second Limp Bizkit album at the same time, and I got them in Virginia that weekend that we were at, the week we were at Busch Gardens. I remember that.
I'm really good at guessing dates. It was June 1st, 1999. Okay.
Wow. That was a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. I'm getting old. Cute. So now I guess how much time do you guys have?
I probably got to dip at like around 10:30.
Okay,
so like 10 minutes.
Because I was looking at the time. This is around the time we usually wrap up, between about an hour and about 20, hour and 30.
Yeah.
So everything I wanted to ask you guys about. Thank you guys so much for answering all my nonsense questions.
Man, it's a pleasure.
It's fun.
I was really hoping that Nick can be here because I know he wanted to meet you, Jay, and then I told him about you, Tom, and I don't know if he subscribed to your channel yet, but Jay, he's been looking forward to meet you, and it sucks, but I'm gonna have to bring you guys back on again. So
I'd love to.
Yeah, it's fine.
And maybe we can get some of the other Geeks and Gamers guys on here because, again, like I said, my people tend to really love Geeks and Gamers. So,
man, it'd be an honor.
Yeah, they all love you guys, but. Do you guys have anything you want to plug before we call it a night?
Since most people know me, make sure you subscribe to the Rogue Attraction. He's going to be celebrating 2,100 subscribers coming up.
Nice.
His thumbnail looks like trash. I was about to talk to him about it, but
Jay gives me the best advice.
I wish he'd put the 21 in like white with black border. Then I think it would pop a little bit more. But
Edge is the best.
Congratulations, Rogue Attraction, man. It's come a long way. Come a long way, my friend.
I will say watch Jay's normal Saturday stream at 5 o'clock.
Oh man, subscribe to History of Pirates. Get that.
Yes, get that to 5K.
Give me the 5K.
But don't pass. You can't pass my subscribers before I get there.
We'll just stop at 5K. We'll be fine.
Yeah, because I'm a little under 7,000.
Graham asks, "What's the best browser?"
Okay, that's an inside. It's an inside joke where I don't know. A number of weeks ago, maybe 4 or 5 weeks ago, there was a argument for about 20 minutes going in the chat about the best internet browser. It went like 20 minutes, and we're just sitting there watching people argue about internet browsers.
Right now, I have Firefox on. So
I use Chrome and Brave.
I use Edge.
You're Microsoft.
Yeah,
fanboy.
I used to work for Microsoft. No, I would not call myself a fanboy, just because I used to work with them. Oh no, I've got my issues.
Wait a minute. What would be the? Can I curse on this channel? Because I think if you were an employee, you might have been something that rhymed with a witch. Then
I was. Let's put it this way: I did not work. I did not work. I worked on the gaming side of the retail division, so I was in charge of running events and tournaments and promotions and stuff like that.
That's why you got a little offended about the Xbox. Okay.
Yeah, and that's the reason they hired me, because of the. Yeah, I had all the Xbox tattoo. And
isn't the umbrella symbol on the top?
Oh yeah, one? That's umbrella, and then I got this is Gears 1 through 3, and then Gears 4, and unfortunately 5. I'm not a fan of Gears 5, and then I've got my Elder Scrolls and Oblivion there. But I've got Final Fantasy tattoos and Ninja Turtles. I'm a big geek, and I would hope you guys would like the fact that I'm a geek, because, well, you guys work with Geeks and Gamers.
We're all geeks in our own mind, so it's like from theme park obsession.
I'm a theme park geek. I'm the lowest level.
To I'm right there with you,
no. I would put comic book geeks at the lowest level.
Comic book geek too.
No, they've been around the longest.
No.
Yeah.
Older comic book geeks were great. Modern comic book geeks are terrible.
Are there modern comic book geeks?
Yes. Watch Clownfish TV. They'll show you about those. They'll show you about them.
I know Neon really.
Neon.
Yeah, Neon's cool. He's one of the few people from one of the bigger channels that will actually talk to you when you message them on what do you call it? Him and Cody, Camelot 331. Yeah. And I'm thinking of who else? Roberto Blake. He's actually talked to me, but he's not really into anything geeky. Yeah, there are a few of the bigger YouTubers that are just kind of rude. But RGT85 is cool. He was on the podcast. He was really cool. I don't know if you guys know who he is.
Yeah, do you know who he is?
I know who he is really well.
Wait, what?
I know who he is really well.
No, you said really well. Does that mean something? Is there something that...
No. I know who he is.
Okay.
Don't pull anything out of me. Like, I'm not going to say anything.
Like, I know who he is really well. I'm like, what is that supposed to mean? No, I'm gonna have to ask you off.
What?
Off
it doesn't mean anything.
My God. Well, he was cool.
Don't drama farm over here. Don't drama.
No, I hate drama.
I get in enough trouble as it is with people, so it's like.
Yeah, so some people like when we start pulling up the drama. Like there was one episode that we did a few weeks back, which was one of our best, just because we were talking about Starfield and Baldur's Gate being too woke, and then that just blew up. People were really going off, and I think they even turned off our chat on the replay. So,
oh wow,
yeah. But like I said, was there anything else Tom? Was there anything that you wanted to plug besides your channel?
I think I'm gonna be at Halloween Horror Nights tomorrow in the rain because I paid for that ticket and I'm gonna go to enough times to make it worth it. Mm-hmm. that's mentally I have to do that, otherwise. I'm almost up to 6, so it'll work. It up once I get to 6.
Oh, that. Sorry. That made sense. But okay, so you're going. It'll be your 6th time.
I've gone 5th. One more time. 5th? Mentally, I have to go enough times to justify the cost of the pass.
So how many times is it to justify the pass?
It was $754.47 this year for my version of the. I didn't do the $1,000 one. I cut off 8
days. There's a $1,000 one.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, it was 900 without tax, 1,000 and something.
What does it get you?
It's just 8 more days. You get the Saturdays.
Oh no, I would never go on a Saturday.
I'd never go on a Saturday.
We go on Wednesdays.
Yeah.
Middle of the week.
So that would it's the same reason why I don't have the top tier Disney pass. It's like I can't justify 50% more for a week.
The reason we do it is because that's when we get the time off, because my wife and I own our own business and she also works for a couple of other companies, and it's like the weekend is really the only time we get to go, and during the holidays, especially that week of Christmas, is our big free time, so that's when we actually go the most, that holiday time. So that's why we have that one, just because
me and Jay like off season traveling or off season going.
Yeah. Hopefully, like now, I don't plan on going anywhere for a while, so I'll get back.
So you going back to theme parks? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So hey, I would say it would be cool to hang out with you guys at a theme park one day. So
hey, let us know.
Yeah.
I go on spur of the moment, so that's why people are like, "Oh, why didn't you tell?" I'm like,
we're the same. We're all the same. I say that Tom, I see Tom live, and I'm like, "You didn't tell me." And he's like,
"Well, I don't know your schedule."
And then I do the same thing to him. It's like
we try every once in a while to be
like if we really sit down and like think about it, but like again, like we live in the area, so it's like, I got nothing to do. Let me get in the car and go.
And it's also like, oh, this came out. Oh well. Like, oh, there's a popcorn bucket, or oh, blah blah blah. It's sort of like sometimes it comes down to if something big enough happens, it's spur of the moment.
Do you guys ever have that issue with Universal where you just decide to go at the spur of the moment? It's not going to rain, says like 7%. You get there and it starts pouring.
Yeah, all the time.
That's every time we go to Universal. I'm like, oh yeah, it only says 6%. We get there and it starts pouring. I'm like, I guess that's the 6%.
You know what that is, though, at least my viewpoint? People really like to watch people in misery. So if it's a rainy day and I'm just miserable and an umbrella on, they like that. They like seeing misery for a stream.
I don't like being miserable, so.
No.
I agree.
I don't like being miserable, but sometimes it's just a funny thing. Like, you have to just roll with it. It's Florida.
It's true.
I think, I actually think I've only seen 2 of you guys, I would say Geeks and Gamers related people at the theme parks, which I saw Tom that one time, and then Pink Pam, but she was by herself. She was going through Hogsmeade. So
we were all together, me, Tom, Melanie, Mac, everybody. We were live
at Universal. Yeah, like a couple of weeks,
so,
right?
Yeah, and
we got Ryan got out there, so.
Yeah, I actually saw when you guys were out there, and I'm like, the day that I had a ton of church stuff that weekend, and I'm like, sorry, I was just gonna try to go out there and just run into you guys, and I was like, oh no, church stuff.
So that's more important.
Yeah, yeah, I do a lot of stuff with my church, so
that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, we do a lot of stuff for the community, and I always put that first, but not trying to brag or anything. But
no.
But all right, it's almost 10:30. Jay, you got to go. That's awesome. Thank you guys for being here. I really appreciate it.
No,
sorry,
man,
Nick couldn't be here.
Yeah.
We'll try to do it
when he's back.
Yeah,
and we'll come back on. Me and Tom will come back on. We'll make it. It'd be awesome.
Yeah, I'll make sure we'll try to put something ahead of time, and hopefully nothing happens. But I really appreciate you guys doing this, especially on such short notice. I know I was trying to get Tom on here before, but every time he said yes, something happened and it fell apart. I'm like, wow, I feel like such a D-bag for canceling or something. Wow. Wow,
they just had that perfect timing.
It's just a joke, man.
Perfect timing. Oh, okay. No. But thank you guys so much. If you don't have anything else to say, I guess we'll just close it out here.
Oh, man, I appreciate the invite. It's always a pleasure.
It's fun.
Yes, this was fun. Again, I'm really glad. I know I sound like a broken record, but I'm really glad you guys came. Really appreciate it.
Awesome.
So we're gonna call it here. Thank you everybody in the chat. Thank you everybody for the super chats. Chris, wait, let me go back here and see. So Chris, you were the all-star tonight. Thank you so much. Graham, appreciate it. Thank everybody for being in the chat. Thank you so much for making this successful. Appreciate it. And yeah, we're gonna call it a night. And like we always say, be legendary. That's my saying. It's what I do. Thanks again.